Heyo, so I'm here to finish off my Project Pan that I was doing in Zurich. It is now the beginning of March. I kind of delayed the end of the Project Pan because I was like, well, why would I film this? I don't keep my empties, so it's not like I had anything sitting around to encourage me to do it, and I was just kind of done, so I took a break. But I want to start a new Project Pan, so I figured I'd round this one out before I do that. So I'm going to go over the products that I finished, the products that I almost finished, and then the products that I got nowhere close on. So I'm just going to go over the products that I finished, and I don't have them anymore, so I will just list them. I finished 2 primers. They're both samples. I finished the sample size of the Benefit Professional. This is my small size. They have a larger one as well. So I finished the sample size of that. I also finished the sample size of the Smashbox Pore Minimizing Primer. It was about that big. I finished a color corrector. It was the Sephora Bright Future color corrector. Came in this tube, just was green. I finished a L'Oreal Paris Pro Matte. This is a new one. I had the shade 104. This is the 103. The 104 was too dark, so I'm happy to be finished with that. I finished that very early in my pan. I finished the Marc Jacobs Genius Gel. So you can see there, you can see all the way through the bottle. It's kind of gross. I finished a concealer, the Kat Von D Lock It Cream Concealer. I finished an e.l.f. eyeshadow primer. I have replaced it since I got back to America. I finished off a sample size of the La Marque lipstick, and then I finished off a full tube of a Pacifica Power of Love lipstick that I didn't really like and just wanted to get rid of. So those were all the products I completely finished. I think I did pretty well. That is a total of 10 projects out of 17 that I was hoping to pan. I consider that a success. There were 2 products that I almost finished, and I would consider them also a success. So one of them was the Sonia Kashuk eyeshadow palette. This is the Eyes on Neutral number 2. I've repressed this so it doesn't look as impressive anymore. Essentially, I started with very little left in this pan and I wanted to pan it. I started with a full palette, basically every other color, with like a tiny dip in this one. You can watch my original video. This one, I kind of moved away from using this palette, and it's kind of expired at this point. So this is probably going to go in the trash. If you can see that, I tried to repress what was left of my white shadow, but it didn't work essentially, and so it's just liquid at the bottom of the pan. You can't get anything out, it's just empty. So I did succeed in panning that. The other color I wanted to pan in this, because I didn't want to pan every color, was this brown shade, and I didn't do that, but I do have a significant dent, and I'm happy with that. And then shockingly, I hit pan and almost finished this second shade right here. That turned out to be a really good transition shade for me. It matches my skin tone almost exactly, so it was just perfect for even setting the under eye, doing some brightening and stuff like that. I also have a significant dip in the shade next to it because that was close enough. Once I hit pan and before I repressed this one, I started using this one. And all the other colors I have decent dips in. I would just call that a success. I know it feels really wasteful for me to get rid of this palette, but it's just so old and I can't justify keeping it around anymore. I will rebuy it. The second item I have almost finished was the Hourglass Ambient Light Lighting Powder in Luminous Light. For this one, my goal was just to see a dent in it, and I did that. If you can see that there's a little bit of a dent. I'm really happy with my progress on this. I will be putting this in a future Project Pan, and it's still the only highlighter I own, so I definitely believe that it is doable. And so finally, on to the products I have not even gotten close to what I wanted on them. I threw one of these away. I'm going to start with that one. It's the MAC blush in Melba. It was my favorite blush. It was the only blush I own. However, it expired, and so during this Project Pan, I was like not seeing any progress, and so at the end I actually cut it open, or like cut it to see what was happening. I didn't think I had hit hard pan on the thing because I cleaned it and I scraped off the top, but apparently the entire product had just solidified into a block. And so I tried to repress it and it didn't work, and so I think the entire product had just really gone bad. And so I'm not really counting it as a fail, I'm not counting it as a win, it was just an impossibility. The product I got pretty good on was this Shade and Light contour palette from Kat Von D. In my previous ones, I have repressed these. I had seen pan in this one and this one, and a little bit of pan in this one. My goal was to hit pan in this and then finish these 3. I obviously didn't do that. However, I did have to repress in order to continue to use the product, so I would consider that I got close. And then finally, the 2 products that I made almost no progress on and I'm really upset about. This first one is the Rimmel London Eye Pencil. While it has gone shorter, it started this long, it hasn't really gone anywhere. I only use this on my waterline, so I obviously didn't make that much progress. The last product that I'm still really upset about is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Brow Mousse. and I said I started with a really large dent in this and I wanted to see pan. I don't even get to see pan. It is significantly less product in the jar. The sides have gone down, the dent has increased a lot, however it's starting to expire. It smells kind of different than when it first came, and it goes on chunky and blotchy and just everything's starting to go wrong with it. So this is probably going to need either some oil drops or to be chucked out soon. So that is the completion of my Zurich Project Pan. I had 17 items in the pan, I finished 10, I almost finished 2, and then I failed bravely on 2 and just completely failed on 2 others. So I would consider that a pretty big success, and I'm going to start another project pan that'll be a little more difficult than this one and a little more exciting. So if you want to see that, I will be posting that soon. Alright, thank you for watching. Bye bye.